So that's real. Like we really get different sounds out of different programs.
Yeah.
I be calling Logic.
Logic only good for vocals.
Thank you. Hey, that's a real.
Myth be going.
That's
Logic
an
only
IG
good
real.
for vocals. Good for vocals. Only
Some
good.
people
I'm not gonna
Logic.
say, you got some geniuses out of there that could do it. I'm just not gonna set because it's just something about the dog that just sound funny to me.
The workflow, I just couldn't really get into it.
Sound funny to me.
Like y'all people who making these dogs, don't you know I got the best ears in the world. That is a sassy ass dog.
There's one question in the audio recording world that seems to be very controversial, and that is, do different DAWs sound different? Now, the answer is yes. I was taught in school that different DAWs have different sound engines that do have slightly different tonal characteristics to them. I believe usually in the 2K to 8K range. And that doesn't mean that you're going to be able to listen to a mix and be like, oh, that was mixed in Pro Tools, or that was mixed in Ableton. Not a huge difference. It should not be a determining factor in the DAW that you use. Now, the audio from these DAWs are subjectively the same when you examine the frequency spectrum. Don't take my word for it, though. Here's what Butch Vig has to say about it.
I go back and forth between two DAWs. I use the Pro Tools, the dreaded Pro Tools, which has been in my life as it's like a stepchild I would not be able to get rid of. But I've been using Luna a lot. I love Luna. I love it. It sounds great. I know that sounds weird because it's a DAW, but it has a thing.
Anybody who tells you Pro Tools has a better sound engine, no, it's not true. Pro Tools does not have a better sound engine. It's actually false. I've done these side-by-side tests. Same thing with Ableton versus FL Studio. They do not sound different. Ableton and FL Studio, as long as you don't touch the faders, touch the pan, or use any plugins, when you drag an audio file into Ableton, audio file into FL, they sound exactly the same. I love FL and I love Ableton, but they both sound the same.
The next thing that I think holds a lot of beginning producers back is stock sounds. Now, I tread lightly here. This is the one place where what DAW you have does matter. Because while it's true that a mix in one DAW versus another DAW does not sound different, if you're using stock sounds, using Ableton versus Fruity Loops versus Cubase, they're all gonna sound very different. Stock sounds are not universally good. And what I see a lot of beginning producers struggle with is they're trying to get professional, high-quality tones out of a stock plugin that either isn't capable of producing it, or it requires a lot of sound design knowledge that this beginning producer does not have.
What software has the best sound to you? Cubase, Studio One, Logic, or Pro Tools? Many times I've been told that all DAWs do the same thing and sound. But is that true though? In my experience and opinion, they don't sound the same. They do the same thing. What software has the best sound to you?
Oh, dude. I'm probably the only one on Logic, but
Logic, and then I do drums in there. Okay. Now, is there any real difference in using it? I know a lot of people they choose the DAW that they like and they'll swear by it. But what do you think? I see you shaking your head.
No, there's no difference, man. It's all up to the imagination. At the end of the day, if you know what you're doing, it's literally just imagination.
but a lot of people say that the drums smack harder in FL.
It's true.
Nah, that's facts.
It is true.
I don't know that algorithm. They figured it out.
It's true. But in general, I just think it's like majority of it is just up to the imagination. Because I've heard people drums that smack on Logic, they'll figure that out somehow too. But FL drums definitely smack harder than everything.
Yeah.
I hear.
Okay, so if this were true, it would be common knowledge across the industry. Like, they would be teaching this in full sail that, hey, Fruity Loops has the drum algorithm. Your drums are going to hit harder coming out of Fruity Loops. And what I've gathered from talking to FL users is that there is a limiter that is on the master channel that pops up by default, which I guess makes the illusion that there's a drum smack algorithm. While I don't think the DAWs differ sonically, I think that their user interfaces might make it easier to deal with different parts of production.
Before we jump in the video, I need to jump on here and let you know I do mix and master, man. If you need a song mix and master, feel free to reach out to me at roadrunningbuzz@gmail.com. That's roadrunningbuzz@gmail.com. I do sell vocal presets. You feel me? The link is usually below. You know what I mean? So just let me know whatever you need. But I do mix and master, man. You need a song mix and master. You need that professional sounding A1 sauce.
please hit your boy up. I am in business. I need your business. Let's get the business. You feel me? Let's get into the video. The battle of the DAWs, man. I've been going back and forth with a few of y'all for the past week or so, because in my previous video I mentioned how, to me, Studio One sounds better than Mixcraft. Mixcraft 10 has been great, no complaints. I recorded a handful of bangers in Mixcraft 10, but I also transitioned back into Studio One, and it's like I used Mixcraft 10 for like I don't know, I used it for like the first 2-3 weeks that it was out, and I loved every minute of it. I was enjoying it. But when I did open Studio One back up and I recorded in Studio One, it just sounded so much better to me. And then I get a bunch of comments like, no, it doesn't. Technically, all Daws are exactly the same. And boom, boom, boom. And I go, yeah, I get what you're saying. Like, technically, all Daws do the same exact thing, so they shouldn't sound different. But all Daws are not created equally, in my opinion. Yes, you can get high quality music out of Mixcraft. Yes, you can get the same high quality music out of Studio One and Pro Tools and FL. Whatever you use is whatever you become comfortable with, and whatever you kind of master. You kind of master the workflow. The better you are with where everything is and how everything works, the more efficient and the better sound that you end up getting within that DAW. But at the same time, the biggest difference in all these DAWs are their stock plugins. Are stock plugins made equally? No. So if stock plugins aren't made equally, how are the DAWs made equally? Now, if you remove everything and we're just talking about throw the file in there and hit play, does it sound the same? Yes. But once I start to use these plugins, nothing sounds the same. Everything sounds different. Now, like they were saying, if you know what you're doing, you're gonna get that high quality end product regardless. I've been doing it for years in Mixcraft, and that comes down to experience and what you know. There's somebody right now with Pro Tools that don't know what they're doing. I can hop in Mixcraft, make a song that sounds 10 better than anything that they can produce within Pro Tools, based off the simple fact that they don't know what they're doing. So are all DAWs made equally? Yes, but no. It's that simple. I gave an example. I said, are all cars made the same? They all drive, right? And then people go, well, there's different versions you can get, you know what I mean, and blah blah blah. And it's like, okay, DAWs do the same thing. DAWs have their standard version, their pro versions, their this version, their that version. What's the difference? They all do the same thing. All cars drive the same. But are all cars made equally? No. Some of them use better quality parts, higher quality parts. Get what I'm saying? Like, so when I say Studio One sounds a little better to me than Mixcraft, it's probably because of when I'm in Mixcraft, I'm using stock Mixcraft plugins alongside of my Waves plugins, right? And then when I'm in Studio One, I'm using stock Studio One plugins alongside of my Waves plugins. The stock Studio One plugins alongside the Waves plugins sounds better. Now, those stock Studio One plugins that I got, I didn't purchase those. I got those when I bought the DAW. Those stock Mixcraft plugins I didn't purchase those. I got those when I bought the DAW. They aren't equal. Everybody's going super technical in this whole argument. Yeah, they all do the same things. They all have the same bit rate, this, that. They all export at this, boom, boom, boom. They don't sound different. They all sound the same. No, they do not. They do not sound the same. There's one video, I don't think I got this one though, but the guy was saying like, bro, once you throw a compressor on the file, you can hear the difference in every DAW. Just take that stock compressor that's in their DAW, throw it on the file, and then listen to every DAW with their stock compressor, and then you gonna realize, like, oh damn, there's really differences in the sound quality. And like y'all said, it's probably not actually the DAW, because they all are operating at similar levels, I guess you could say, right? But once we start talking stock plugins, which come with the DAW when you buy them, they're not equal. They're just not. A stock Pro Tools plugin is probably 10 times better than a stock Mixcraft plugin, and that's just me being honest. But then I get a whole bunch of comments of like, bro, you're tripping, like they all sound this. No, bro, I'm not tripping. I can hear. It's an ear test. We're not talking about what's on the paper, the specs. And we're just going based off specs. Then yeah, obviously they all do the same thing. We're talking about what I hear, bro. Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I'm not. It's people that agree with me. It's people that don't. And I get that. But at the end of the day, it's our opinion. You're arguing with me over my opinion. I told you what I feel like. Why are you so into, or why are you trying so hard to convince me that my opinion is wrong? It's my opinion. If you feel opposite, that's fine. It's your opinion. I respect your opinion. That doesn't change the fact how I feel about what I'm hearing. I've been doing this for years, bro. Mixing, mastering, listening. Bro, when I opened up Studio One and I started working in Studio One, I'm like, bro, I can hear the difference. Everyone I work with can hear the difference. There's a difference there. Whether you want to believe it or not, there's a difference there. Now, hopefully, or maybe one day, Mixcraft will get better stock plugins. Maybe not. Who knows? But like I said, I've never made a video telling you that you need to stop using Mixcraft. And I never will. Why? Because I use Mixcraft for like the past 10, 11 years. And I've been fine with it. I've made banging music. Bro, people used to hit me like, yo, what studio you record at? You feel me? Like, I produce high quality music. People wanted to know where I record at. When people found out that I was recording in my living room at the time, I don't record in the living room no more. But when people found out I was recording in the living room, they like, how you doing all that in the living room? How? You feel me? So you can definitely produce high quality in Mixcraft. I'm never gonna tell anyone like, nah, don't use Mixcraft. It's not good. But I just know that Mixcraft has its limitations, and I also know that other DAWs provide other things that Mixcraft don't. Every DAW has its like superpower, I guess you can say. Like every DAW has its superpower. Like FL is probably gonna be the best DAW for someone who is a beat maker over an artist, like someone who solely produces over everything else. FL is probably gonna be that for you. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's really catered to people who make beats. Now the fact that it can actually do vocals and everything now, you feel me? I don't feel like that was always a thing going back as far as I can remember, but the fact that it actually does that now and people are actually making full songs in FL is a W. But doing stuff in FL when it comes to producing and making beats, it's stuff in there, like the workflow of getting things done with making a beat is 10 times better than me making a beat in Mixcraft. Like, their shit is mapped out way better, and that's just what it is, bro. You know what I mean? So are all DAWs made equally? No, they're not. They're all catered to something. Mixcraft is catered towards beginners. It's very user friendly. It's very beginner friendly. It's beautiful. I love it. That's why I've used it for like over 10 years. You know what I mean? So the fact that I start to experience other DAWs and my thoughts on how I feel about these softwares begin to change, I don't feel like I should be attacked. You know what I mean? Like, it's how I feel, bro. Like I'm experiencing it. You are allowed to go experience these Daws too. Like most of y'all have used other Daws outside of Mixcraft, you know what I mean? And y'all just like Mixcraft because it's so simple, and I get that. But with me, when it comes to simplicity, at one point when I was starting out, that was very important. Mixcraft was so simple, but I'm so advanced now that the complex stuff really don't bother me. I'm gonna figure it out anyway. You know what I mean? I'm gonna figure out how to maneuver within any DAW anyway, and I'm gonna figure out how to do what I need to do, what I want to do, regardless. So that doesn't bother me. I'm actually intrigued. I actually want to learn and figure out these other DAWs. You know what I mean? That's why I've messed with obviously Mixcraft. I started with that. I've messed with Pro Tools. I messed with FL a long time ago. FL is completely different now. I've messed with Studio One, obviously. That's what I'm messing with now. And who knows, in the future, somebody might be like, bro, just try this out. I feel like you might like it. And I might try it. That's what happened with Studio One. Somebody was like, yo, you should try Studio One out. I think you will like it. I tried it out. I liked it. Boom. That's what it is. But you could comment down below. Let me know how you feel. But it is what it is, bro. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. Use whatever you like. It's that simple. Use whatever you like. You don't have to go out here. I know some of y'all just fanboys, man. Some of y'all gotta fight for what y'all believe in, and I get it, but it's like, hey, bro, it ain't that serious. As long as you making the music you want to make and it's the quality that you want, nothing else matters, bro. I'm gonna continue to make music in Studio One because I like how it sounds. The fact that you telling me that it sounds exactly like Mixcraft is not gonna make me say, you know what, you're right, let me go back to Mixcraft. No, I like Studio One. I'm gonna continue to use it. The same way, if I feel like opening Mixcraft and using Mixcraft, I'm gonna use it. It's that simple, bro. That simple. You feel me? If you're watching the video, make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Join the channel because Buzz a Vibe. I'm always honest. Tell you how I feel. I'm known to keep it real. Yeah, I know the deal, man. I'm out of here. Yeah.
What the fuck you doing? Wake up every day trying to figure out the best ways.